Hey, you guys, what's going on? What's going on? Welcome to another episode of GT Girlz Garage. We're going to get right into it. First of all, we'd like to thank our sponsors, Donuts and Wheels, Simtec Motorsports, Grip Rad, and oh, this is my script here, ZOCIETY. All right, we'll put all their contact information and everything in the description here. You can find them at their websites also. Just put in their name.com, .org. They'll come up really easy. Shout out to, once again, our group of the week is S30 Life on Facebook. You can get hold of them and talk to those cats, join the group. And also, on top of that, that is all the announcements I got for tonight as far as starting off the show. We will be announcing our contest winners for the M2 Machines 124 scale Datsun 240Z Goodyear edition. We will be giving away two of those. We'll announce the winners from that contest towards the end of the show. So make sure you keep watching to the end and find out if you won. So with that being said, I'll turn it over to the ladies. We'll go ahead and get the introductions done. Junkyard Jenny, go ahead and introduce yourselves and how can we find you?
All right, I'm Junkyard Jenny, and I am the owner and operator of Junkyard Jenny's Quality Used Parts. And you can reach me. I have a website, junkyardjenny.com. I'm also really active on eBay. And let's see, my Instagram is used.zcar.parts. That's where you can reach me on Instagram for the Datsuns. And then for the race car, you can reach me at JJL Racing, both on Instagram.
Right on, right on. Aryn, go ahead and shoot for us, sister.
Aryn, Davy, Washington State over here. I'm only on Instagram, so Instagram is ARYN.DAVY. That's it.
Sweet, sweet. Rachel, go ahead and shoot it, girl.
Hey, Rachel. I'm in the DC area, and I am on Instagram, and it's _boosted_, and the O's are zeros.
Right on, right on. All right, ladies. I think I've done my job requirements for you guys tonight. I'm gonna go in the back and have a beer.
Oh, he's such a character. I love him to death. Rachel, what you been up to?
That's good.
Not much. Crazy work week, I guess, like Aryn's as well. And so thankful it's the weekend. I was I'm redoing my garage so that I have room to actually work on the car and stuff in there. So that was a huge project this weekend, and I'm almost done. So thankfully.
Right on.
Awesome.
How about you, Aryn? What are you doing? Anything fun?
Work week was crazy, but just got a couple of plans tonight, going to a concert and planning, fingers crossed, a trip down to California to go to Thunderhill soon. So I'm going to try and convince some people to come down with me and go race some cars.
Right on. What kind of circuit are you going to run?
So there's a couple of different ones that they've got out at Thunderhill. They've got an east and a west side that's just, regular. I mean, the elevation changes on this track are awesome, but they also have a drift pad out there that is way cool. So that's what I'm shooting for with my friends, because that's, what we tend to lean towards. So it's going to be quite a drive down there. It's about 12 hours from where we're at, but I figure if I can convince enough people and we can just caravan down, it would be worth it.
Oh, that sounds like such a good time. I've got one myself down in Texas. I think it's March 25th through 27th down in Ferris, Texas. Yep, Extreme Raceway Park. March Mania 2. I've never done this race before. I'm really looking forward to it. It's my first Big Jake Productions race. Yeah, I'm excited. I am really, really excited. We put the car away in November, and it literally didn't need anything because we had just got the engine back. At our big Vegas race, we didn't have a chance to even turn the car up. So should be interesting to see what this thing's going to do. I am stoked. But same thing, 12-hour drive, I'm like, ugh.
Yeah,
long way to go. For
yeah,
sure.
the drive down there is what kills me all the time. Yeah, it's rough, but worth it, hopefully.
Do you get that anticipation, like the whole time you're there, you're thinking about what's gonna, like while you're driving, you're thinking about, what's coming up, and do you get those pangs in your gut when you think?
Yes, especially when you're like, oh my God, what's going to break this time? Like, do I have all the extra parts I need? Like, what am I going to, like, oh, it's always something's going to break, something's going to go wrong, and you try and prepare as best you can, but it's never going to be enough.
I know. I just asked my husband the other day, I said, do you want me to order a couple more rocker arms? We tend to break rocker arms. And I'm like, I really don't want to drive 12 hours to go out first round because of a broken rocker. Not looking forward to it. Yeah, for sure. Right on. Well, I don't know what you girls want to talk about tonight. I'm thinking like car movies, favorite car movies.
Yes. I mean, other than like the first few Fast and Furious, honestly. Like,
those are definitely
so many
awesome ones.
What about, have you guys seen Maximum Overdrive?
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Love it. Love it.
You haven't seen it, Rachel?
No, I'm going to add that now to the list.
Oh, you have to. It's kind of funny, but kind of not funny. I mean, it's a Stephen King adaptation, so it's got definitely a little bit of a dark side to it. It's pretty cool. I like it. I totally dig it.
I have to add that to their Death Proof one that he just said, so we'll see. I'm gonna have 2 horror car movies to watch.
Yeah, or you can check out The Wraith too. The Wraith is like, I see, I'm just like old school.
Oh my God, what is that one with?
Which one?
Yeah. I'm trying to think, what is that movie with Ryan Gosling in? Drive. That's like
Drive?
The Ryan Gosling one. I don't know. It was not like so car oriented, but there were some cool rides in it for sure.
Yeah, I remember that.
That's one I haven't seen.
Yeah.
Good though. We're getting movies to watch now. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Just have to start adding to my list.
Yeah, I know. I've got a whole list of stuff I want to watch too. So,
are there any like? Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any like TV show that you guys like go to for like car stuff?
Yeah, I'm probably gonna get reprimanded for not reprimanded, but probably I don't know. Maybe it's a little embarrassing, but I can't get enough of the No Prep Kings and the Street Outlaws and. I mean, I know a lot of it's like, it's goofy and silly and all that, but anything drag racing, I'll watch. Even if it's, I can't get enough of it. I'm like so into this right now. And, with springtime rolling around, I mean, I'm getting antsy. So, race season starts in like May. So.
You're getting close.
Yeah.
Getting there.
Yeah, for sure.
The off season's always hard for everything. It's just you're like, this is not my time of year when it's just down and everything's cold and you just want spring and car events and to come back.
Yeah, I think so. You got a lot going on over there, Rachel, as far as.
No, I'm trying to figure out if I'm going to attempt to work on my focus and get it ready for our big show that we have here up in Pennsylvania every year, or if I'm just gonna not and just drive my Volkswagen to a Ford show because that's what it's looking like. I started it today to move it out of the garage. I had to put it on battery tender and got it out of the garage, and I was like, all right, let it like run in the driveway for like as long as I can. Well, and I'll close the garage and I'll go back in and work. And then the car just shuts itself off, like not running out of gas or anything, just stops. And I'm like, I can't do this with this car anymore.
Oh no.
I was just like, yeah, people think I'm exaggerating. It's just such a pain in the butt. So she might be counting her final days, and I'll see. The GTI might get a garage space soon.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if it's any consolation, I did something really stupid a couple weeks ago. I had my race car up on the lift, and it was probably, I don't know, maybe 2 feet off the ground. And I thought, okay, I'm gonna fire it up. I haven't run this thing in a really long time. And so I went to, we went to go start it, and it's on methanol. So I was kind of standing outside of the garage because it's like, it makes your eyes water and you can't breathe. And so my husband fires it up, and I'm like, man, that thing is running like crap. And he's like, I know. He says, I don't know what is wrong with it. It's just dying out. And so I got in it and we lowered it to the ground. And as we lowered it to the ground, it began to run better. And I'm like, what? Oh, and then I remembered, okay, so underneath the car, I have a laser beam that's set up for like wheelie control. So when the car starts to wheelie, it starts pulling timing and brings it back down. So this stupid thing is 2 feet in the air. So it's pulling all the timing.
It's like, you are doing one hell of a wheelie.
It did not want to run, and it was throwing flames. And I'm like, oh my God, what do I do?
Yeah.
But then once we figured it out, oh yeah, okay. I thought it was like something, and I even told my husband, I said, it's got to be something in the tune. Well, it was, but
Yeah.
yeah, that poor thing. I don't even know how it ran. It was so funny. So ever since then, though, like I have this big roll of paper. I think it's like 18 inches tall that, that I use to wrap my parts and stuff in. And I slid it underneath the car, and I'm like, okay, we're good now. It's a pretty stupid move right there.
We wouldn't necessarily think you're just like, I need to put my car in a lift. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, didn't think anything of it. So,
That's
oh well, it's good now.
now you'll remember for all the future times.
Yeah, exactly. Or like
We've all,
if the car
we've all
is
done
not.
stuff like that.
Oh, for
Stupid
crying out
stuff.
loud. I know.
Yep.
Yeah.
Will you take video down in Texas so that we can see?
Yeah, actually, my YouTube channel, Creaky Customs, it's Creaky with a K and then Customs. I always upload videos up there. I usually in the off season I would upload just random stuff like installing the fire system or whatever, but there's been literally nothing to do to the car, so I didn't really have any content. But yeah, I'll probably start filming. We're gonna leave here on a Tuesday, and then we're gonna leave on a Wednesday, and then we'll come back on Sunday. So I'll film, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then maybe a little bit Sunday morning on our way home, and then I'll process it, and it'll be up probably by the next Wednesday.
Cool. You guys are all so far away, so I don't think you'll ever come to events by me, but so I'll have to watch
I
videos.
don't know. It's so weird because it's like my racing thing seems to be kind of split by the country. Like the furthest I would go would probably be South Georgia Motorsports Park, but I know that's even really far south from you.
Yeah, that's like a 13-hour drive probably.
Yeah. Yeah. We might end up like in Bowling Green, Kentucky at some point.
It's not as bad. Like it could be a little more doable, but
yeah.
Like MIR is closer to me, VIR, but like no one ever, it's, for you guys, those are super far. So
yeah. Georgia was kind of going to be my limit. Yeah. So there's a race going on there this weekend, and we almost went, but I was like, I don't know, man, that's a really, really long drive. So
it's hard unless you're doing like a caravan, like Aryn said, like those can keep you kind of just like, for me, for long drives. The longest I ever did was Georgia as well, and it from Maryland. And when you're in a caravan, it can kind of just keep you focused and alert and awake because you're driving with people and talking and stuff. But man, doing those drives like just one or two people that's long.
Yeah, definitely. Well, Aryn, what else? You got anything else going on like recently?
Yeah. I mean, I will say I did no, not a whole lot, honestly. I mean, I'm still trying to work on trying to get my Datsun out here to Spokane, but like I don't really have a garage, and with the weather out here, I'm not sure I want to bring her out here because she's just gonna get rusty and shitty. So, no, but I'm trying to see when I can get back to Colorado, go hang out with Dad, and like get down to either PPIR or go down to High Plains or something, get something out, get a little fix in, or go down to Thunderhill. I mean, just out here, especially in the Northwest, it's freezing and so snowy, and yesterday and today, I think we might have hit a high of 25. So it's great.
Yeah,
not a fan.
Yeah, we've had the same problem last few days. I think our high was 9 and 10. Today was 30, and we're out there in t-shirts. Yay!
Yeah, we had 70 a few days ago.
It's today was weird because it was slightly warm, and you can always tell.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Okay, must be nice.
It was 70 a few days ago, but then it's 30 the next day, and you're just your body is 40 degree, temperature drops, and it's getting down to the 20s now. I'm just it was just 70 a few days ago. I don't understand.
Well, I guess the good news is that springtime is literally less than a month away. The actual spring equinox, and we can start seeing stuff come up. And I guess
that is
we're bad.
I can't wait to start seeing events. Some of my local meets and stuff have started already.
The hope. I'm ready for it.
Yep, for sure. So I don't know. Anybody got any nightmare car buying stories? Let's hear some.
I have a bad one, but it wasn't even a car that I ended up getting. It was when I'd started a job, and my Focus was down, shocker, and I needed a reliable car. And so my friend and I I looked for some cars online and found a Focus, a station wagon in Ocean City, Maryland, which doesn't mean much to you guys. It's 3 hours from here, and perfect for what I wanted. I was this is great. It's station wagon. I already know the engine. I can work on it if I need to. And so one of my friends was nice enough to come with me, and we early in the morning and take this trek, 3 hours to the coast. And I had talked to this dealer online all before and was I'm going to be there first thing in the morning when you open, which was 9 or something. So we left at 6. I get there at 9:03 or something, I want to say. And we go up to the thing, and I see the car on the lot, and he's oh, I just sold it. At 9:03, he opened it up at 9 o'clock in the morning. And I talked to him the night before saying I was driving 3 hours to come get this car. And he sold it to someone in the 3 minutes they had been open instead of waiting for me. And I was
I'd be so pissed.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I was livid. I was we were so mad. So we tried to make the best of the day. And we went to some dealerships and test drove other cool cars that I wasn't going to buy because I couldn't afford them. But, but that's what we did. So not such a nightmare thing with the car, but with the dealership. But what about you guys? Do you have a bad car?
Oh, I can't even imagine.
Well, I had something very similar with my dually. We needed a truck, something fierce, and we have this huge trailer that pulls our race car, and we had a 2500, but I thought, man, we really need a dually. And my husband's man, they are so expensive. I'm well, we got to do what we got to do. And we had test driven a couple of 2020s and some 2021s, and I wasn't really all that thrilled with them. I said, for the amount of money we're spending, I don't like these trucks. So we ended up finding a 2018 with 8,000 miles on it, 7 o'clock at night at a dealership, 45 minutes to an hour from us. So my husband calls, and the guy's well, we're closing down right now. He says, but be here first thing in the morning. We open at 8. I said, okay. So we left here at 7, hauled butt, and got there at 7:30. Nobody was around. We found the truck on the lot. My husband says, stand in front of it. I'm going to go find a salesman. I mean, we were so desperate to get this truck. And then we finally did find a salesman. He was there quite early.
Oh my God.
And he said, do you want to test drive it? And we're nope, we just want to take it. So that's what we ended up doing. But we did have to wait until 9 o'clock until the bank opened, which was crazy. We were just sitting there drinking coffee with the guy. We were waiting for the bank.
Goodness.
So, yeah. How about you, Aryn? What do you got?
Oh my God. Oh, nothing that bad, thankfully. But I did when I bought my VW All Track. I actually bought it down in Georgia when I was visiting my mom. So I ended up driving it from Georgia to her place in Florida, and then I ended up having to drive it all the way back to Spokane. So that was worth it for the car because it was good, but that was a hell of a road trip driving literally cross country from one corner to the other. So don't know if it was really that worth it, but
Well, tax time coming up. Do you guys
rough.
have any plans to like buy any cars with income tax returns, maybe, or like? I mean, or if you could, like, what would you buy with your income tax return? Like, knowing how much you're going to get. Let's say you're getting like $3,000 back. Could you find a hoopty for $3,000 anymore?
I don't even know if you can find cars for $3,000 anymore.
Ooh. I've still been looking for a Toyota Corona forever.
Oh yeah,
You know,
yeah, that'd be kind of cool. An old wagon, maybe, old Corona wagon.
yeah,
Yeah.
yes, exactly.
Mm-hmm. That'd be
I'd
pretty awesome.
probably
Like
try
those
and
are just so cool, and like again, like you can easily swap them, build them, you know, do something to them. But yeah,
Yeah. What about you, Rachel? You got anything in mind that you would buy?
I would probably try and find like a Mark II GTI Volkswagen. It wouldn't be in the best shape for $3,000, but at least it would be. But I feel like it would be a nice project.
Yeah, I think I'd pick up like a Civic, honestly, just, you know, some kind of little
yeah,
crappy Civic, just a gas mileage car. I mean, I literally have nothing but trucks right now. Well, my Datsun's really good on gas mileage, but I honestly don't know because I never hooked up my speedometer, so my odometer doesn't work. Really don't know what I'm getting for gas mileage.
You can't even go wrong with the Civic. I mean, it's
Yeah.
fine.
Exactly.
No, never. Classic.
Any car parts that you guys would want to buy currently with some tax money?
I mean, that was probably anything.
I don't know. What do you
Literally
think, Rachel?
anything.
What would you do, parts wise?
I'm torn. So I told myself that, of course, when I bought my new GTI, that it was gonna be stock because it has to be reliable because it's my daily driver. But of course, that's like already gone out the window. So I'm thinking I'm thinking a tune is coming at least pretty quickly, if not parts. So I'm right now researching like the companies for tunes for my car just to give it a little something extra because I know that they can get some pretty decent power out of them with just a tune. So that might be on the list with the tax return.
Right on. It sounds like fun. I'm looking forward to like Lexan glass, maybe some fiberglass doors. I don't know. I need to lose about 200 pounds on the car. So I'm thinking, I don't know. I really don't know. They're so expensive.
How much?
Well, like the Lexan, I think is like $1,700. The doors are, oh my gosh, I don't even remember. I think they were like 18 or something like that with the latch kits.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's really ridiculous. Honestly, though, the one thing I really, really, really need bad is cylinder heads. My cylinder heads are just hanging on by a thread, and they're about $4,800. So, man, I don't know. I've got so much money into this car already. Like, I really don't want to put any more in it.
Yeah. I assume you've shaved probably everything else weight-wise that you can at this point.
Yeah. Last winter we took a whole bunch out. I mean, we gutted the whole trunk area. I mean, we took out so much weight on that thing. But it still has like steel doors and steel quarters and all glass, you know. So it's like I just need a couple 100 pounds, and we should be good. But I think we're gonna get yeah, we'll get it in the glass, I think, for sure. So
Yeah.
Yeah, Jason Bacon says 200 pounds should be easy. I wish. And it's not even that. I mean, this is like, so when we weigh the car, we actually have to do weight ratios front to rear. And I think we were like 56 to 40, no, 54 to 46, 54 to 46 in the back. And I mean, I know this sounds crazy, but if my weight fluctuates 10 pounds, we're having to rework the whole car. Yeah, I mean, it is so crazy how this thing works, and it's not just. I mean, there's so many aspects to it. It's really more like tuning, getting the chassis correct.
Yeah.
So we have these little weights. They're like anywhere between 3 pounds, and then we've got like 19 pounds, and we move them around the car as needed, based on how the car torques when it takes off, or if the rear end, like if we want it to stand up and dig the rear end in as opposed to wheeling, so we have so much stuff to like try to do. It's like, there's a balance, so we got to find that. And if we take out 200 pounds, we're starting all over again.
Yeah, like that's, I think, and then you you take all that out, and then you're back to like, okay, where did we lose the weight? Center, rear, front, and then you have to like rebalance everything. And man, yeah, it's a pain. I mean, it really is a pain to get this thing right. But I mean, even when we were down in Vegas, the car was doing fine for a few passes, and then 2 passes in a row, it spun right off the line. And I'm like, well, what happened there? So for that, we had to make a huge suspension change in the back, and we did, and the car was fine after that. But it was still almost too nose heavy at that point. But then we didn't have the scales with us, and I'm like, we're not getting this into it. We just want to get the car like ready to go for whatever races we can, and then once we get to the track, I mean, that's the thing too, is we got to tune track for track. So the tune that we put in Vegas is going to be different than what we have in Texas, which is going to be different than what we have in Colorado. So we're constantly.
So is it your tunes, are they based on like elevation and stuff only, or is it like just based on, okay.
Well, not just elevation only. It's also track conditions too. If the track is too cold, or if the track is hot and greasy, things like that. Our home track doesn't tend to prep terribly well for radial. So we have learned how to adapt to it for like more of they prep for slicks, which is really their bread and butter.
Do you guys run at Bandimere usually?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but we've learned to adapt to their track. But I mean, you can see the differences that we have to make, not only with elevation, but like, so here in Colorado, I hold the track record for my Class XDR at 4.48 seconds. In Vegas, that same car can run 437. Now, granted, that tenth of it's huge, but it's like, is it elevation that we're fighting, or is it track conditions that we're fighting?
Yeah.
So it's really hard to say, but I mean, I don't think my car would ever run 420s up here, but in Vegas and Texas, it would.
That's insane. So like, I mean, I know, elevation and track conditions and everything like plays so much into it, but you don't realize, especially like until you get to, especially like a drag strip where it's so evident, like, because that tenth of a second can make all the difference.
Oh yeah.
You look at any other kind of track or anything. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's the thing, is the previous track record was a 4.48, and I came in at 4.47. So, we're at
literally 100th of a second.
Yeah. So it's all the difference in the world. And the thing is, though, is we've learned how to adapt to that track to where we can make the car stick, and then the next guy might spin. And I always hear people complaining about the track conditions. I spun or whatever, but then the next guy plants his rear end hard and he's doing a wheelie. And I'm like, well, how is that bad track conditions if he's stuck? So it's all in tuning, not just the car, but the chassis, really. And the chassis is pretty important, especially on these radial cars, So, but yes, Jason Bacon, it is a radial car. It's not a slick car. Slicks scare the crap out of me. Can't do slicks. It's like driving on ice. Yeah. So, yeah.
No. I can't even imagine. I mean, like, I've been on tracks and stuff, just doing like play dates basically out there, but like I've never been in a true drag car, and that's like that would scare the crap out of me. I feel like that I don't know how you do that.
Well, but see, then it goes back to the same thing with you guys. Like, I couldn't drift to save my life. So, I mean, I'm afraid to. Like, you take me to IMI and I'm getting lapped. Like, I just, I don't know how I don't know how and I mean, mine, like my learning adventure with this car, I've been with this car for, oh my gosh, 4 years now? Yeah, I think this is my 5th year with it. And it's all been adaptation, step by step, baby steps. First it was a 10th at a time. Now it's 100th at a time. And so we're just slowly kind of chipping away and using the tools that come with the car, as far as the tuning and all that. So we're learning, step by step, we're learning. And I think that's the nice thing is every time I go down the track, I learn something new. And that's what I love about it.
That's awesome. That's really awesome.
Yeah, for sure. Let's see here. Slicks are meant for the street and radials are meant for the track. The Hoosier has a radial that works decent on the street now. Yeah, I've actually ran, what the heck are those things called? Pro bracket radials is what I run. And those things are more like a hard sidewall slick. So, those make it really easy. They're almost like cheater slicks. Oh, good. Yep. So, what's your biggest piece of crap you've ever owned?
Aryn, what was your biggest piece of crap car that you owned?
Probably a Civic. I mean, I loved it. Don't get me wrong. It was awesome. But so I had a 99 Civic that I got T-boned in, and so it got totaled out. But it was just my daily, great gas mileage, awesome, standard, whatever, just beater car. And then so my dad, of course, one of TJ actually, if you know him, Jenny, helped me find another 99 Honda Civic that had been sitting in his neighborhood for 4 or 5 years, just in this guy's driveway. And so we went, looked at it, and it started and it ran. But obviously, and no judgment here, but obviously was a previous drug dealer's car, because the amount of paraphernalia that I found in that car, and back bumper was cracked and missing, everything was dented, nothing worked. One of the window regulators on it was broken, so the entire passenger side of the car had gotten flooded out multiple times. Was missing so many bits and pieces, but still got 40 miles to the gallon, and a couple $100 at the junkyard. Perfect. Loved it. But no, definitely was, ran solid, still running to this day. I sold it to a friend, still running, but that is, oof, man, that was rough.
Yeah. How about you, Rachel? What was yours?
I'd have to say I had a 93 Beretta, and I had an 89 Beretta as well. I don't know how I ended up with 2 Berettas in my life, but I had a 93 Beretta, and I got it kind of in an urgent situation. I was working at a body shop, and somebody had basically surrendered it there, and I bought it for $300 or something. But the entire it was bad. The entire trunk was literally just waterlogged. I mean, it was soaking wet, and there's this huge, I guess, just leak on the molding around the back of the trunk. And so I just put things of baking soda, in bags, and was using the things that soak up moisture and stuff. And on nice days, I would leave the trunk open, trying to just it's that, or I'm going to drill a hole somewhere and just let it. This is be horrible. And then of course, whenever I sell this, it's going to be just a complete rust in the trunk. But it was just not a good car, but it got me from point A to point B until I found a better car. But it smelled like just mildew 24/7. It was disgusting.
How long did you have it like that? How long did you have to actually drive it smelling like that?
Only a few months, thank God. It wasn't not long. I was just it was short lived.
Oh man, that's crazy.
What about you, Jenny?
Well, I've got two of them that I could think of. I'm trying to figure out which one was the worst one, but I would have to say it was like the AMC Eagle.
Oh,
Come on,
God.
you know, Bowtack, it was free. What can I say? So I got this thing, and it had oil leaks, like crazy oil leaks, and I had to take it to the car wash one time just to clean the engine off so I could figure out where the heck it was leaking from. Well, I got water in the distributor, and so it wouldn't really run all that well. So it's sitting there like spitting and sputtering at lights, smoking like a freight train because now the oil's hitting the clean manifolds, and it's just like, and this isn't Boulder. Like, you can't have a smoking car.
Oh my God. No, not in Boulder.
I mean, I flat out hated that car. Oh, it was terrible. It was absolutely the worst thing ever. Oh, good Lord. Yeah, I would never. I don't know if I would ever own one of those again. The other one, I mean, it's kind of quick. It was like a 1990 Honda Accord, and really the only thing that was wrong with it was that the guy tells me with his teeth all broken out, "Now, honey, when it starts to overheat, flip this switch on the dash and that'll cool down." No thanks.
Okay. Did you buy from some guy out in like Dacono?
Yeah, actually, well, it was either Dacono or South Longmont.
Sounds about right.
Oh my gosh, so crazy.
Rachel, I see your questions about what drag racing is. So, I mean, but Jenny would be like the person to answer like what a drag race like really like what it actually entails and what it is. I don't know.
Well, I mean, for me, it's a blast. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. You line up at a light with an opponent, like so you've got one like either to your left or to your right, and you're both like exactly on the same line. And then when the light turns green, you take off, and whoever gets to either the 8th mile, the 1,000 feet, or the 1320, which is quarter mile, wins. It can get a little bit more complicated as far as what we call hole shots, what we call sleeping at the light, leaving before the light turns green. There's all kinds of, different screwy things that can happen. And then let's see, is it dangerous? It depends. If you've just got like a regular daily driver, like I'm just going to take, for example, my it's not really that dangerous because that truck, it takes it, from 0 to quarter mile, it takes it about 25 seconds. I don't know. I mean, it's a long ways. But my car is set up for 8th mile racing. So we're talking 660 feet, which is what, just 2.5 football fields, not even. And I can get up to speeds of 170 miles an hour. And it's like 4.3 seconds it takes me to get there. So yeah, it's that starts getting dangerous. However, the sanctioning bodies, NHRA and SFI, require certain things at that point. Actually, if you can do a 10-second quarter mile, from there you have to start getting into specific roll cages, specific fire suits, specific helmets, Hans devices, gloves, shoes, the whole thing. And like where we're at now with my race car, I need to have a funny car roll cage, Hans device, head restraint, thick gloves. My fire suit cost me $2,200, but it's required. Yeah, it's required. I mean, you have to have it. So also too, depends on the fuel that you're running. Like we're running methanol. And the thing that sucks about methanol is that when it sets on fire, you cannot see the flame. So you have to have a big fire suit because if you're burning, you won't know it until you feel it. So that's why the fire suit's so important. So, I mean, there's a lot of things that it can be expensive. It can be cheap. It just depends on how you want to do it. Our first car, we got it into the 8-second zone. And I think we had $6,000 into it. So yeah. So at this level of racing now, I've got about 80,000 in my car. And maybe even more. And really for every 1/10 of a second that we're going, we're spending about $12,000. So,
wow.
So yeah, it can get really, really expensive. So She's also asking about, are there a lot of women who race? Yeah, there's not as many as I would like to see. I do see a lot of women in drifting, which I think is freaking fantastic. I don't know how you girls do that. I couldn't do it. There's no way.
I couldn't do what you do, so don't worry about it.
Wait, but no, but I mean, you could, honestly, anybody could. If you start with a slower car and just work your way up, I mean, it might take, like I said, it's taken me with this car. This is my 5th year with this car. So I've been doing this for 7 years total. And it's taken me that long to get comfortable at that speed. So, you know, and I do have to say though, is, you know, as we start getting into the 4-second zone, that's when it really starts getting kind of nerve-wracking.
Yeah, that is fast.
Yeah, it is really fast. And the car does things. I mean, you're only in it for 4.5 seconds. It's not that long. But the first 2 seconds, you really don't know what's going on. Like, you've just launched, you're trying to figure out where you are on the track, you get straight, the car shifts, you might get tire shake, and then you just hang the heck on. And when that last thing goes by you, you're like, okay, done. So yeah, it can be scary for sure. But like I said, if you work your way up to it, you know, really, I think anybody can do it. It just depends on how far you want to push yourself.
Yeah, I would love to learn both. I'm just so nervous. People, I have this really crazy thing with, I don't want to people watching me like learn things. So I would love to do both, but I mean, I've tried this before, but nothing crazy. Like, I knew I was going to suck. So we'll see. Maybe I'll get back out. Drifting, I don't even have a car to drift. So that already eliminates that for me.
Well, yeah. And there's definitely that fear of embarrassment. I don't know if men actually have that. But you know, so in Vegas,
I'm convinced they don't care. No.
I know. So when I went down to Vegas, there was I'm trying to figure out exactly what happened. I was staged and they shut the track down. So they were telling me, shut the car off. So I shut the car off, and then my husband tells me, back it up. So I backed the car up and I put it in park while I waited for them to clean up the track or whatever they were doing. Then he tells me, fire it up. Now I'm in the burnout box. I had my foot on the brake the whole time, but apparently I was in park. So he tells me to go do a burnout. And I'm like, okay. So I slam on the gas pedal and the car doesn't move. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm doing a burnout in park. So once I figured out, okay, that was embarrassing. Oh my gosh. So I finally got my burnout done, got down the track, and that was when I did the fastest pass I've ever done in any car. Yeah, it was great. It was freaking awesome. Well, he sends me a text. Yeah. He sends me a text at the end of the track. He says, I'm proud of you. And I said, even after my in-park burnout?
That's awesome, though.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, like, everybody like screws something up. You're gonna make mistakes. Like, you're gonna learning always takes time. I get that, but like I definitely prefer okay, even when I first started driving, it was my dad teaching me, and when he was trying to teach me how to drive stick, like, absolutely not in a million years. I had to go to my mom for that because she was way more patient. Like, it was way easier with her because I feel like women are way more understanding of the mistakes and everything. But when you're at a track and you've got 20 or 200 guys watching you, learn and make these mistakes, even if you're a professional and you know what you're doing, you're gonna make a mistake someday. And then, of course, I don't know, it's almost worse in front of guys. Like, if it was a bunch of girls, like, I don't care. Like, I have no problem making these mistakes and doing and learning and everything. But I feel almost, especially as a woman, like, you're going out there and it's almost like you have something extra to prove because you are female. So when you do screw up, it's even more embarrassing.
Yeah. They're like, oh, it's, of course sucks. She's a girl. Like,
Exactly. Such bullcrap.
Do you ever find yourself, though, Aryn, like, you look at other women who are on the track and you kind of almost, do you ever judge them and be like, wow, she looks like she's really green? Or,
like you can always tell to a certain extent, but I feel that way about guys too. Like you can immediately tell, like, okay, like it doesn't go for like a specific gender for me. It's like, okay, no, that person is really green. But like I feel like I always, and I don't know, maybe this is just me because I've been in that position so much of like I almost give more leeway to females with that kind of thing because I know how like nervous I get behind the seat doing that kind of stuff. Like I am more likely to screw up the more people there are out in front of me. Like, you know, just because it's the nerves. So like I'm almost, you know, if I see a girl screw up on the track, like I'm more likely to be like, oh, okay, like whatever. I see a guy and I'm like, dude, what the hell are you doing? Like maybe that's bad.
Well, no, it's almost like it's almost like you almost expect the guys to know what they're doing, you know, and then because for me it's like when I'm looking at the drag racer guys, I'm like, man, I want to be like him someday. But then you watch him really screw up. Yeah. And you know,
and it's like you can, and I mean, you can always tell when, whether it's male or female, you can always tell when somebody's like super fresh, super green, very learning, and that's understandable. But when you expect somebody that you've seen out there a million times to like know what they're doing, when they do screw up, it's like, okay, like what? Like, especially when it's guy. And of course, they always try and brush it off like, oh, this happened, or make excuses. And I'm sorry, that's a generalization, but.
Well, my thing too is like when in drag racing, there's a tendency for like, you know, the group that we race with here in Denver, we kind of all know each other, you know, even in the separate classes, we kind of know each other. Like I won't race the guys in limited 235, but I know them. But in my class in particular, I can tell you there are two cars that I hate racing against because either their door or their hood or their trunk lid or their something flies off. And I don't want to be behind it.
No.
And so, you know, I mean, thank goodness my car's gotten now to where I'm finally in front of them. But there was a time where I'm like, don't get anywhere near me, dude. I don't want
to secure your body parts, please.
Yeah, but I mean, I say that though. I do say that, and I lost a quarter window once, so you know.
Oh no.
I know it was real.
I mean, yeah, but that's like not your hood or your door flying off.
Hood is pretty bad.
And the nice thing is it flew up and like over the road, so it never hit the racetrack surface. Thank goodness. And actually, I think on that run I wasn't racing anybody. I don't remember why, but that was, so my car's set up for 8th mile, and that time I decided I'm going to run it out to quarter mile just to see what it would do. I was doing 187 miles an hour. I was crazy. I was like, holy girl. Oh,
that's insane.
It is, but like I said, it's over in, you know, well, in that case it was 7 seconds.
Yeah.
But really, you think about it, it's like when you guys are drifting, when you girls are drifting, it's like that is a sustained adrenaline rush. I mean, that is just crazy. Yeah, for sure. So I don't know. So I hope that answers your questions there, Rachel. I see she's got a couple other ones here. Let's see. How do men react? I think we just talked about that and stuff. But I don't know. On my YouTube channel, it's basically the progression of when we started racing up until last November. So if you kind of want to see, you know, our progression, you can go to my YouTube page. It's Creaky Customs, Creaky with a K. And you can go all the way back down to the very bottom. You'll see a couple of rat rod videos. You can skip over those. But really, you can start to see the evolution of, you know, of me, really, of the car, and of how we evolved from the team and how we're still evolving. I mean, we're not done. We got a lot to learn.
That's awesome.
So, yeah. So it's a blast.
To see what you do.
Come on, man. Hurry! They're catching up! Here, Millhouse, you go first. Okay, now throw the line back. There's no time!
Hey, I was watching that. We're going to see what happened next.
I'm excited to watch what you do this season. So both of you, I'm super excited.
Yeah, definitely. Aryn, do you do any like of the social media with yourself?
Not
Okay.
really, honestly, and especially like anything I do is just playtime. It's not, I'm not in any classes or any clubs or anything. It's literally just going and playing because
That's
I don't
awesome.
have the money for it otherwise.
It's expensive. Oh my gosh, it can get really out of hand. So
Yeah,
for sure.
Cars are
definitely.
just
So we had a contest on, I think it was on Instagram and possibly even Facebook too. I don't know if one of you girls want to read the winners, or do you want me to do it? Or I mean, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, so we did have the contest on Facebook and Instagram. And so winners of the M2 Machines 124 scale Goodyear tires 240Z. Contestants are Jay Sutton on Facebook and at Luis the Cook Z34 on Instagram. So we will contact you guys for shipping info and all that stuff. So congrats.
Congrats!
It's awesome.
Really
I
cool
want
dice. I know. He's like, why are we giving this stuff away? I want it.
Right? Someone does.
How
I
cool
know.
is
I got
that
enough Hot
though?
Wheels, like, please do not. Like,
Mm-hmm.
Super cool.
Yeah, for sure.
It
I
was
have a little collection of my Datsuns and stuff back behind me in this cabinet. I've got some really cool Hot Wheels and kinds of other crap in there. So
like on
But
a
I'm not giving
future
it
show,
away.
we should all like bring some of our favorite like
yes,
cars. Yeah.
yes, we should totally do that.
I've
That
got
would be a
so
blast.
many Hot Wheels, all the Datsuns, everything. So yeah, it's not
Mhm.
good.
For sure.
We'll have like a little show and tell of our favorites sometime.
I used to I would go whenever I would go to my grocery store, they had that bin of Hot Wheels, and I would dig through it for like
Yes,
30
yep.
minutes. Do you do that?
Oh, same.
Yes.
Yeah, every time. Walmart, when they had like the huge, like they had like 3 of the massive bins, I'd be like head first into the bottom,
Yes.
trying to find the right
I'm
one.
super short. I'm like 5'1.5". So for me to
Yep.
get into it is like a real
Yep.
big effort. And so I'm like
Yep.
literally like
Same. I'm right there with you.
Oh,
my goodness.
people are like probably buying stuff for her kids. Like, nope, you're buying that for
Nope.
me.
Just me. It's fine.
Or even sometimes too, I'd find like a little Civic or something. I'm like, oh wow, a little 90 Civic hatchback. I know somebody'd like that, so I'd buy that. I still have it.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Oh, so bad.
Yes, I have a lot of those. Too
Oh
many.
my gosh. Well, I guess we can. Let's close this up with asking this question. Let's see. Let's talk about your dream build, your dream build team, and then what are you guys building?
Dream build team.
Ooh, Rachel, you go first. I got to think about this.
Oof,
Yeah, me too. I know. I was like, I don't know about. Well, let's see.
Somebody go first because I got to think about this.
Honestly, I'll tell you, I have my dream build team. I do. I've got it. I mean, I've got everything. I've got 2 computer tuners and 1 chassis tuner. My husband does the chassis tuning and the computer tuning, and then I've got my buddy Corey doing the computer tuning. And of course, it's not just the guys. And I get in the car and I'm like, okay, let's go. I mean, I have to give them input. I got to tell them what the car is doing. I got to give them my opinion on I think we've got too much timing, or we don't have enough fuel, or whatever. I have to. We're kind of a 3-person team, and we just work with each other and say, okay, this is what's going on. So other than that, I don't have any builds active. Just the car, and then of course my Datsun is done. It's my driver. So
that's awesome.
what about you guys?
Yeah.
Man, it's a tough one. I feel like we needed
It's
more
tough.
time.
I mean, of course, yeah. I mean, of course, like I just always lean towards like if I ever had to have my dream car and like my dream build and everything, of course it'd be my dad who would help me with everything, because as much as he drives me up the wall, like for what I would want for a dream build, he would be the guy to go to. Like he already has people send him stuff for, what I would want for either a Hakasuka or like a built, 2-door 510, something like that. Like he has people send them to him. So I know that like he would be the guy. And as much as I hate to admit it, he actually knows what he's doing sometimes. So it's tough. I mean, like that would be awesome, like to have him. And then, we've got a couple other people, Greg from Slow Drive Racing out in Colorado. I don't think he has a shop anymore. I think he moved
Oh my gosh.
Yep, Greg Myers. Yep, he is the king of tuning. Like he tuned our Mustang. Like that man can do magic. Like he would be the guy to go to for that.
He's in Pueblo now, and he's still on IG.
Is he? Okay. Well,
Yeah,
I follow him on IG. I haven't seen him in a while.
Okay. I was gonna say, send me a private message, and I can give you his info. I mean, I know I still talk to him. I don't really talk to him much. Like I want to know how he ended up in Pueblo and why. But that's really about it.
Yeah, I think it was partially with his health and stuff. But no, he actually helped. He was the one who built the roll cage with my brother's 510 wagon that we're putting the SR into. So he did the roll cage, and he put that limited slip and the IRS and everything in the back. So we love Greg.
Yeah,
love Greg.
Yeah, me too.
What about you, Rachel?
I would just say I honestly have made so many connections over like the past couple of decades. I would probably I don't have any like huge names or anything. They're just people that I have come across like local and some in California, and like honestly if they're the whole country, that I would probably just pick and choose. Like I've just seen so many great builds come. Like there's some people that I would like love to go to for, like you said, like tuning, and then there's the others for your suspension, your chassis stuff, and then some people do like amazing bodywork, paint, and just like I've just met so many people over the past couple decades that I feel like I would just, if I really got to choose my dream team, I would be like in heaven and just like I'm picking you and you and you. And
that's it. I mean, and especially that's what I love about like the car community so much, is you can really make just such good connections. And it may not be the biggest name in the industry or anything,
Right.
but you know that this person does good work, and you know you can go to them for anything. Like that's what I love about it.
Absolutely. I love that. And I feel like I've already met just the people that I would want to build like a dream.
That's great. That's really cool. Well, we have about 2.5 minutes left, so I want to make sure that we we thank our sponsors for this particular visit here. We've got Donuts and Wheels, ZOCIETY, Grip Rad, and of course Simtec Motorsports. Thank you guys for being on board with us. We really appreciate it. Aryn, where can we find you? Where are you at?
Just on Instagram at Aryn.Davy, on Instagram ARYN.DAVY.
Cool. All right, Rachel.
On Instagram as well. It's boosted _ boosted and then _ again, and the O's are zeros.
Excellent. Right on.
And Jenny?
Well,
your
I got a
business?
lot. So let's see, the dots and parts business is at used.zcar.parts. That's on Instagram. And then my racing is at JJL Racing on Instagram. Am I on Facebook? I think that the Junkyard Jenny's is on Facebook. I don't know. I don't really like Facebook. Not a big fan. And then let's see. I've got my website for the car parts, for the dots and parts, is junkyardjenny.com. And then you can reach me for the racing is at Creaky Customs, Creaky with a K, on YouTube. And I also do have a channel there called Junkyard Jenny's Garage, but there's not a lot of content on it. Just basically like how to take a cylinder head off and how to do some suspension stuff. I'm trying to get more content on that one, but kind of taking me a little bit of time. So, got to get that stuff done.
And thank you guys who are watching
always a
and
mess.
with us the whole time.
Yeah, we appreciate
Definitely,
everybody.
yeah.
Yeah, definitely. We got the Jason is on with us and Rachel. We appreciate all the questions. That was really, really great to be able to work with you guys on answering those questions and give us something to rave about for sure.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
Well, thank you guys so much. It was great talking with both of you guys. To
Awesome
see you
talking
again,
to you.
Jenny, and first time with Rachel for me. So nice to see ya.
Yes, that was awesome.
All right. Cool. Well, I guess let's see here. I just want to make sure that we're not going to screw up the credits here. All right. I think we are good to go. Citizen Z says it is time to go. So I guess we'll just go. All right, girls. Good night.
All right, bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.